Right then, hello and welcome back to Race, the official game of the World Touring Car Championship. After the first 4 races of the season then, I'm leading the points championship, quite surprisingly, by a single point over Dirk Muller in the BMW 320 SI. Gabriele Tarquini is third in points with 17. Then you have Gianni Morbidelli with 13 and Rickard Rydell in 5th overall with 11 points. Now, I'm going to have a lot of weight bias or handicap weight bias for the next 2 races at Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for the Race of UK, and I'm not going to do very well there at all because I cannot get on with the Grand Prix circuit at Brands Hatch. The Indy layout is absolutely fine, but the Grand Prix circuit, not a chance. I cannot seem to get anywhere near the pace I really want to around that track. But oh well, we'll try our absolute darndest. We'll probably be in the top 10 if anywhere. But anyway, we'll see. So in the constructors or manufacturers standings then, I'm currently 4th out of 6 with only 19 points, but Seat have pulled away with 64 points at the moment, which, you know, to be fair, they have like 6 cars on the grid for this championship, so that is to be expected. I've only got the single Peugeot to my disposal. But anyway, Brands Hatch Grand Prix, original date 20th and 21st of May 2006. So yeah, of course, this is the reconfigured Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit I did in the early 2000s. They don't have the Dingledale chicane anymore, which was pretty much flat out. You'd fly over the curbs. That has been taken away now. So, yeah, practice is getting underway as we speak. So I will get on with qualifying and see how I end up. And I will see you all for the start of race 1 of the weekend and round 3 of the championship. So, unfortunately, as to be expected, qualifying was a bit of a hit-and-miss affair. I'm starting at the back. After about 10 minutes, I really couldn't get into a rhythm. I kept going wide, or I just kept putting one wheel on the grass and spinning, and I just wasn't getting on with the qualifying format at all. So I've decided to concede defeat, start at the back, follow the other drivers, and get my lines then. But let's have a quick look at the timing then. See who's on pole position. You have Maurizio Cerasoli on pole position in the Seat Toledo Cupra, which is unusual because they're usually down on power. Then you have Gabriele Tarquini in the Seat Leon, and then Nicola Larini in the Chevy Lacetti. So it's a, you know, a Seat 1-2 and a Chevy in 3rd. And then you have the other range of Seat Leons behind with Jordi Genet, Peter Turting, and Rickard Rydell. The other Seat Leons at back, James Thompson in 11th, Ivan Muller in 14th, and that is it. So I'm behind Ryan Sharp in the Honda Accord, starting in 25th place. So yeah, with that, let's get race 1 of the weekend then underway. And here's a rundown of the starting grid again then. So Cerasoli, Tarquini, Larini, Genet, Turting, and Rickard Rydell, the top 6. And you've got Muller, Menu, Balzan, and Farfus Jr. James Thompson, Rob Huff, Andy Prio. The Brits aren't doing very well at all. Ivan Muller, Gianni Morbidelli, Tavano, Rangoni, Muller, Orchetti, Janak, Korthols, Heisman, Zanardi, Sharp, and myself. There we go then. Right, race 1 of the weekend, 14 laps. And off we go. Now, my, expectations of this race are going to be very realistic. I'm not going to win, and I'll be very lucky if I do finish in the top 10. For a number of factors, really. Again, I do not like the Grand Prix layout of Brands Hatch. Secondly, my car does have a lot of weight bias, and I will lose tyres very quickly during the race. So I will probably drop back in the latter half of this race very quickly. So, however, the only positive side is that when the yellow flag comes out, as you've seen there, is that yellow flag in Sector 1, they didn't code in the fact that, if you pass under a yellow flag, you'll get a stop and go penalty, or you'll get a drive-through, or you'll just get a time penalty, this, that, and the other. So no, if a yellow flag comes out, you can just dive up the inside willy-nilly and make up 14 spots, as I've just done. So from starting in 25th, I'm now up to 11th. But yeah, my prospects of this race are very, very low. I don't know what it is, you know. I mean, I've practiced on this track in so many different sims. And I just cannot gel with the track. I just can't get a rhythm where I'm comfortable and where I'm, you know, able to control the car in a meaningful manner. And it's really quite annoying. BMW is just going to dive in his line. So we're up to 10th. Slow it down for Paddock. However, we do make a lot of time going through druids. Oh, and there's the Seat. Told you he wasn't going to be in the lead for much. Too long. Yeah, the Seat, not very well suited. The old model anyway, the Toledo. Not very good on power. Alright, go past Rydell. Change gear, please. That would help. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the right rear as well. One of his brake lights isn't working. Oh, Rydell, you cheeky swine. I will try and do the same to you. Actually, no, I'm a chicken. That curb as well, going through the old Dingle Dell, is not that high, so you don't get launched over the curb like you do in this game, which is very off-putting when you're trying to go around there at a high rate of speed. Oh. Getting a little bit loose. Oh, really cutting the corner. Oops. Come on, let's get past Seat, shall we? Not quite. Oh, this corner, this one catches me out more often than not. It's very, very difficult to tell what kind of gear you're supposed to be on or how slow you can take that turn. And in qualifying, I was taking it way too fast and then going off into the grass. And then these two coming up now. This one. And then the one after it as well. There you go, that's better, that's what I wanted to do. Oh no, he's still alongside. He isn't giving up too easily. Excuse me. Have we got past him yet? No, he's still alongside. There we go, finally got the move done. Car juddering under acceleration. Okay, we're up into 7th, which is higher than I thought we were going to be. But yeah, I've raced around here on like AMS, Assetto Corsa, AMS2, this game, Race 07, GTR, Tonka Race Driver 3, they had this in this in that game as well. Tucker Race Driver 2 as well. GT Legends. And I just suck around this track. I really do. It's just embarrassing, to say the least. They're already 7 seconds back behind Rydell. As we start lap number 5. Hopefully Sarasota will be able to hold up the Alfa Romeos behind, being in a lot slower machine. Oh, again, getting all my lines mixed up. I am very surprised that this race wasn't held in rain conditions, you know, being in the UK. I was surprised to see the sun out and bone dry, you know, what's going on? What alternate dimension is this we're living in? Actually, to be fair, May is relatively hot in the UK. For the last few years at least, it's been, you know, in the mid to high 20s, sometimes early 30s degrees Celsius. Now, the couple of years I went to Thruxton in May, the first round, and it was always like in the high 20s, early 30s, or low 30s. And we always got burnt to a crisp, and then when summer was in full bloom, it sort of got colder, which is weird. So I think our summer season has changed from like June, July, and August to like May, June, July. Don't know. You can tell we're losing so much time on Rydell. He's 12 seconds up the road, but we're pulling away from Sarasoli in the Seat Toledo. And he's thankfully holding everyone else up. Right, lap 7, coming up to half distance. Now this is probably where my tyres are going to start going off with the extra weight bias that we have. So I will be dropping off pace, which I am anyway, but that is because of the weight bias. That's why I'm not catching up with the Seats, who have not... I don't think Rickard Rydell has any weight bias at all. So, Nicola Larini, Gabriele Tarquini, and Jordi Janne, the top 3. And I am lagging at the back, struggling to get any decent racing line under my belt. Yeah, of all the races besides Macau, this was the second one I was dreading the most, just because I suck around Brands Hatch GP. It doesn't help as well that you have braking lines in the middle of a bloody corner like that one. That was a weird line. As you can see, my lines are all over the place. I just cannot get to grips with this sodden track. I really can't. The Indy circuit is absolutely fine. I just hate the Grand Prix circuit. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. It feels so slow, it's like we're not carrying any speed into the corners either. Already 21 seconds behind Rickard Rydell. And we're 5 seconds ahead of whoever is in 8th place. Which I think might be the Alfa Romeo. I think they've actually got past Sarah Soli now, because that was 7 seconds at one point. Oh, it's Andy Prio in the BMW. Oh, that explains it then. Actually, I wouldn't mind if Andy Prio gets past, because that'll drop us down into 8th place, and then we'll be given pole position on merit for tomorrow's race, which wouldn't be too bad. So then we could do a Sarah Soli and just hold everyone up for the entire race. My problem is with this track as well is I don't know how fast I'm supposed to take some of the corners. I can't find a fine balance between Safety and speed. The amount of times I've taken the corners at speed, I go flying off into the tyre barrier and my front of my car gets ripped off. So I try and be a bit more conservative and slow down, and it feels so bloody sluggish. It's stupid. And here comes Andy Prio in the BMW. He can piss off. I have no time for him at all, the bloody moron. Yellow flag in Sector 1, don't know what that's about. Now you can see the speed difference between my car, which has got 111 or whatever pounds of bias, and Andy Prio, who has, I don't think, any bias, or he might have a little tiny bit, in a massively more powerful car than I've got, as he was able to rake in 6 seconds in like 2.5, 3 laps. Why couldn't I have held the race at Donington Park? I know my way around that track and I'm very good at it. Oh, always bloody Brands Hatch GP, or it could have even been Silverstone. No, always Brands bloody Hatch. Well, to give him credit, he hasn't tried taking me out yet. Tried to dive a couple of times up some of the corners, but managed to block him each time so far. Oh, great. Here comes a bloody Seat as well. Now, I'm going to try and play this as smart as I possibly can. I believe that's James Thompson behind Prio as well. So there's 3 Brits in a line. How patriotic. Okay, so this is the last lap. At this stage, I'm just mirror driving. I'm not looking ahead at what's going on in front of me, which is, you know, a bit stupid, really. I do actually want to see what's going on in front. Alright, checker flag is already out. Congratulations to the winners, whoever they should be. Nicola Larini, Tarquini, and Janae, the top 3. Right, Prio. Go past. Prio, if you're going to go past now. Did that work? No! Oh, for goodness sake, Prio, you absolute tit. I was trying to get him to go ahead so I could finish in 8th place, so that means I would be promoted to pole position for tomorrow's race, but no, it was just by a gnat's pube. He was, you know, just behind. I was trying to tap the brake, oh no, that didn't quite work as I'd hoped, but oh well, at least we're going to be starting in 2nd for tomorrow's race. Alex Zanardi again finished in 23rd. Where did, what's his face, Dirk Muller finish? I don't think it's going to show up at the moment. Anyway, that was a really, really embarrassing race number 1. So we'll get on with the race results and the points, and I will see you in just a moment. And here we are then. So Nicola Larini does get the 10 points. Gabriele Tarquini in 2nd with 8 points, and Jordi Janae, the final step at the podium, with 6 points as well. Then you got Jorg Muller, Peter Terting, Rickard Rydell, myself. Not by much though, it's 252 to 268. So it was very, very close. Andy Prio was a bit of a nonce on that one, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the overall timing then. Was there any retirements? No, of course there wasn't, because there never is in this game, not really. So yeah, that was race number 1. And that means we are promoted to 2nd place on the grid for tomorrow's race. Andy Prio is going to be on pole, which is good for him. And what about the rest of them? So you got Rickard Rydell is going to start 3rd, Peter Terting, Jorg Muller, Jordi Janae, Gabriele Tarquini, Nicola Larini, James Thompson, and Alessandro Balzan, the top 10. So yeah, that is for tomorrow then. I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you very much for watching that boring, awful race. And I will see you tomorrow for another boring, awful race as well. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.